Yes, managing settlement account.
Hey, Sonal, can you give a thumbs up if you can hear or some reaction? Okay. So they can hear us. No, I hear you. I mean, there's no use.
Hi there.
हरि ओम महा ओम अपवित्रं पवित्रो वा सर्वावस्थां गतिविभाज्य स्मरेत् पुनरेकाक्षं सबाह्याभ्यन्तरः शुचिः ओम सर्वशुचिर्भवतु निर्माणभावे स्वस्तितिलकं महा हरि ओम महा ओम स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति न तारक्षो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु यजमानहस्ते तस्मै सर्वविधिं धारयाम्यहं पवित्रं धारयेत तदा गतः तस्य यज्ञो पवित्रं धारयेत तस्मै सकलोपचार्थं ध्यानं समर्पयामि हरि ओम ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय हरे परमात्मने प्रणतक्लेशनाशाय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। ओम नमो सुनंदाय सहस्रमूर्तये सहस्रपादाक्षिशिरोर्भावे सहस्रनाम्ने पुरुषाय सहस्रते सहस्रकोटियुगधारिणे नमः। ओम अयोध्या मथुरा माया कांसी कांस्यवंतिका पुरी द्वारामतिस्सैव सप्तेता मोक्षदायिका। हरि ओम सर्वोपचारे मंत्रोष्पांजलि। हरि ओम महासर्वोपचारे मंत्र पुष्पांजलि समर्पयामि। फलसिद्धिरस्तु। तत्र संकल्पः। ओम विष्णुर्विष्णुर्विष्णुः श्रीमद्भगवतो विष्णुपुराणस्य श्री श्वेतवाराहकल्पे वैवस्वते कलियुगे कलिप्रथमचरणे भरतवर्षे जम्बूद्वीपे नैमिषारण्ये गोदावर्याः महिलान्तरे हरिं सांसके तस्यै विक्रम संवतः व्याजाग्न्यासिनः 1945 उत्तरायण प्रदेशे सूर्य शिष्यतो मासानां मासोत्सव मासे पौषमासे कृष्णपक्षे चतुर्थ्यां वै पंचम्यां तिथौ ओम तस्य उत्तरा फाल्गुनी नक्षत्रे अधिकंडो योगे ओम भौमवासरे एवं ग्रह गुण विशेषण विशिष्टायां शुभ पुण्य तिथौ यजमानस्य गोत्रस्य लाखाणी नाटकस्य काश्यप गोत्रस्य नारायण नामकः प्रेतस्य ओम दाहात्कांदादि पिंड प्रदानम अहम करिष्ये अवजनमः कुशतरणं पदांगनाथश्री शुक्लोपचारे ध्याति ध्यानम ओम विष्णोरराटमसि विष्णोः स्तप्नेषु विष्णोर्द्रोषि वैष्णवती विष्णवे त्वाहा। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नमः। सकलोपचारे नमस्कारं समर्पयामि। ओम कतोषे दिवकतं कृतान्तवितात्तः मनसा वायुभूतेन तप्ते त्वां निमन्त्रये। सकलोपचारे तर्हि पिण्डोपरि चट्टं समर्पयामि। तिलं समर्पयामि। नमस्करोमि। तदंगनावायताभ्यो नमः। सकलोपचारे ओम हरि ओम सकलोपचारे ओम श्री काश्यपपुत्रस्य नारायण नामक प्रेतस्य पिंड प्रदान पिंड उत्क्रांत सवनाम्ना एषद पिंड मनुष्यां महा ओम महापिंड पादपाद्यं हस्तर्घ्यं सूर्यं समर्पयामि। तदंग द्वितीय पिंड परिपादपाद्यं हस्तर्घ्यं समर्पयामि। तृतीय पिंड परिपादपाद्यं हस्तर्घ्यं समर्पयामि। चतुर्पिंड परिपादपाद्यं हस्तर्घ्यं सूर्यं समर्पयामि। पंचम पिंड परिपादपाद्यं समर्पयामि। हरि ओम तदंगनः प्रथम पिंड परिहे एषते पिंडोष्टामः तदंगनः द्वितीय पिंड परिहे ओम गोस्य गोत्रस्य काश्यप गोत्रस्य नारायण नामक प्रेतस्य पिंड उत्कांदने पांथ नामना एषते पिंड प्रजामः द्वितीय पिंड परिहे तिलं सुतिलं काश्यप गोत्रस्य नारायण नामक प्रेतस्य पिंड उत्कांदने खेचर नामना एषते पिंड प्रजामः तृतीय पिंड परिहे तिलं सुतिलं हरि ओम काश्यपपुत्रस्य नारायण नामक प्रेतस्य पिंड उत्कांदने तस्मै भूतनाम्नः चतुर्थ पिंड प्रजामः चतुर्पिंड प्रहेतिनं सुतिलं काश्यपपुत्रस्य नारायण नामक प्रेतस्य दाहात् उत्कांदान्ते प्रेतपिंड साधकपिंड पंचपिंड वर्जुरामः पंचपिंड परिहितिलं सुतिलं समर्पयामि फलसिद्धिरस्तु तदांगतेन तस्यै पिंडोपरि तदांगतेन तस्यै पिंडोपरि मुख्यात्मं स्वात्मं स्नानं सुस्नानं दद्यामि द्वितीयपिंडोपरि मुख्यात्मं स्नानं सुस्नानं दद्यामि तृतीयपिंडोपरि मुख्यात्मं स्वात्मं स्नानं सुस्नानं दद्यामि चतुर्थपिंडोपरि मुख्यस्वात्मं स्नानं सुस्नानं दद्यामि तस्यै पंचमपिंडोपरि मुख्यात्मं समर्पयामि तदांगते आगच्छन्तु महाभागा विश्वदेवा महाबला यत्र वेता साधे सावधाना भवन्तु ते पिंडोपरि चंदनं सुचंदनं तदांगतः पिंडोपरि चंदनं सुचंदनं ओम श्रीखंडं चंदनं दिव्यं गंधाढ्यं सुमनोहरं विलेपनं सुरश्रेष्ठ चंदनं प्रतिगृह्यतां पिंडोपरि चंदनं सुचंदनं समर्पयामि तदांगतः पिंडोपरि तिलं सुतिलं समर्पयामि ओम कृष्ण कृष्ण कृपात्वां कृतिनां कृतिर्वो संसारमग्नानां प्रसीद पुरुषोत्तमः अतः प्रथमार्धे पंचपिंडोपरि तिलं सुतिलं समर्पयामि तदांगतस्य पिंडोपरि यवानि निक्षिप्य हरि ओम तदांगतौ अयोध्या मथुरा माया कांसी कांस्यावंतिका पुरी द्वारामति सेवा सप्तैता मोक्षदायिका पिंडोपरि यवानि निक्षिप्य यवं सूर्यं समर्पयामि तदांगतेन तद्गृहे पिंडोपरि पुष्पं सुपुष्पं ओम माल्यादीनि सुगंधिनी मालत्यादीनि कुबो मया हतानि पूजार्थं पुष्पाणि प्रतिगृह्यताम् पिंडोपरि पुष्पं सुपुष्पं समर्पयामि पिंडोपरि पुष्पं सुपुष्पं समर्पयामि तदांगतेन तस्यै अभिषेकम् आरभेत तस्यै तदांगतेन ओम अनादि देव शंख चक्रधाधर अक्षय पुंडरीकाक्ष पितृमोक्षप्रदो भव अथ श्री पुष्प शंखासं पीतवास संवत्सरं ये नमस्यन्ति गोविन्दः अतेषां भय अतेषां विदते वयं हरि ओम नारायण सुरश्रेष्ठ लक्ष्मीकांत प्रप्रद संस्थानामग्नाना प्रसीद पुरुषोत्तमः नारायण सुरश्रेष्ठ लक्ष्मीकांत प्रप्रद अनेन तर्पणेनाथ पितृमोक्षप्रदो भव हिरण्यगर्भपुरुषः प्रजानां व्यक्तरूपिणे अस्य तातस्य मोक्षार्थं सुप्रीतो भव सर्वदा सुप्रीतो भव सर्वदा हरि ओम सकलोत्थाय शांति 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 सुशांतिर्भवतु तदंगनाथर्हि सकलोत्थार्थे कोकनोटपरि तिलं सुतिलं समर्पयामि तिलं सुतिलं तदंगनाथ चंदनं सुचंदनं विफलोपरि चंदनं सुचंदनं समर्पयामि गन्धद्वारां दुरादर्शां नित्यपुष्टां करिष्णे ईश्वरीं सर्वभूतानां तामि होपवै श्रियं गन्धं सुगन्धं समर्पयामि तस्मै पुष्पं सुपुष्पं देवी वाला जॉन जॉन ने बोला Apa dah jauh teman tahun jauh. Kami pokok awal itu. Mereka. हरि ओम महातदमिहां पूर्वे श्रीफलं समर्पयामि अमति तस्रीः उत्तरे श्रीफलं निधाय पुष्पं सुपुष्पं समर्पयामि तिलं सुतिलं समर्पयामि अतः श्रीः पश्चिमे श्रीफलं निधाय तस्य परिः पुष्पं सुपुष्पं ओम तिलं सुतिलं समर्पयामि श्रीलक्ष्मी ततो श्रीफलं निधाय दिनोपरि पुष्पं सुपुष्पं तिलं सुतिलं समर्पयामि Om Om Gange Chayamne Chava Buddha Sapsuddhi Nadi Sindhukagre Jalisman Sandhiguru Rok Sathe Siddhira Subhatana Medah Gandam Sukandam Maha Chandram Suthandam अतः श्री ओम स्वस्ति स्तया विना साक्षात् धर्म कल्याण प्रतिदा विनायक अभ्यानिकं कांच सत्यं भवन्तु नः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नक्षो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु हरि ओम गन्धं सुगन्धं चन्द्रं कम्पयामि यवानि निक्षिप्य शुक्लोपचारे तदमिनो तस्यै दर्भं गर्भाधरं समर्पयामि गर्भं सुदर्भं समर्पयामि गर्भं सुदर्भं समर्पयामि हरि ओम गर्भासनं समर्पयामि फलसिद्धिरस्तु तुलसीमालां समर्पयामि सेवन्तिका कमलचम्पकपाटलाब्धे पुष्पे विद्वः प्रवाल तुलसीदलमालिकाग्ने त्वां पूजयामि जगदीश्वर मे प्रसीद तस्मै मुखे आचमनं स्वाचनं महा ॐ गङ्गे च यमुने च गोदावरी सरस्वती नर्मदे सिन्धु कावेरी जलेऽस्मिन् सन्निधिं कुरु ब्रह्माण्डोदरते धानि कर्मष्टान्तिरवि तेन सत्येन मुखेव तीर्थं देहि दिवाकर हरि ओं महर्षि मुखे मुखे आचमनं स्वाचनं समर्पयामहि हरि ओं महर्षि मुखे आचमनं स्वाचमनं समर्पयामि तदंगनाथ श्रीगंधं सुगंधं समर्पयामि तदंगनाथ श्रीपुष्पं सुपुष्पं महा हिरण्यगर्भगर्भस्थं हेमबीजं विभावसो अनघमतः शान्तिं प्रयच्छ मे हरि ओं मातसे मुखे सुवर्णदानं समर्पयामि मुखे तुलसीदलानि निधाय महाप्रसादजननी सरस्वभाग्यदायिनी आदिव्याधिवर्गं तुलसी त्वं नमोस्तुते मुखे तुलसीदलानि समर्पयामि मुखे तुलसीदलानि समर्पयामि फलसिद्धिरस्तु तथा पिंडं निधाय कांचनाम्ना पिंडः द्वितीय पिंडं कांचनाम्ना हेतनाम्ना पिंडः तस्य सवनाम्ना पिंडः साधक नाम्ना पिंडः हरि ओम ओम द्यौ शांति अंतरिक्षो शांति पृथिवी शांति आपः शांति औषधयः शांति वनस्पतयः शांतिर्विश्वे देवाः शांति ब्रह्म शांति सर्वज्ञो शांति शांतिरेव शांति सामा शांतिरेधि जतो यतः समीहसे ततो लोकभयं कुरु सन्नः कुरु प्रजाभ्यो वयन्नः पशुभ्यः क्या बड़े हरि ओम माता पुष्पं पुष्पं समर्पयामि चंद्रकाष्ठं समर्पयामि गंधं सुगंधं महा हरि ओम महादशे पुष्पमालां समर्पयामि माध्यादिन सुगंधिनि मालत्यादिभो मया पूजार्थं पुष्पाणि प्रतिगृह्यताम् हरि ओम तदंगना पुष्पमालां समर्पयामि ओम सेवंतिका बकलचंपकबालाब्धे पुष्पै बिल्वः प्रवालतुलसीदमाग्न स्वां पूजयामि जगदीश्वर मे प्रसीद पुष्पमालां समर्पयामि हरि ओम नेत्रे आज्यं स्वाज्यं समर्पयामि हरि ओम नेत्रोपरि आज्यं स्वाज्यं समर्पयामि नेत्रोपरि आज्यं स्वाज्यं समर्पयामि वस्तुपरि आज्यं स्वाज्यं समर्पयामि पादयोः आज्यं स्वाज्यं समर्पयामि हरि ओम महापादयोः आज्यं स्वाज्यं समर्पयामि आज्यं स्वाज्यं हरि ओम महासुतिलं सुतिलं समर्पयामि देवानि निक्षिप्य इदानीं निक्षिप्य इदानीं निक्षिप्य यं चन्दनं सुचन्दनं समर्पयामि सुफलं समर्पयामि ओम त्र्यंबकं जयामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनात् मृत्योर्मुक्ष्यमामृतात् ओम त्र्यंबकं जयामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनात् मृत्योर्मुक्ष्यमामृतात् ओम त्र्यंबकं जयामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनात् मृत्योर्मुक्ष्यमामृतात् तसेतन नैवेद्यं निवेदयामि सत्रात्मखाद्यानि दधि सर्वतानि च आहारं भक्षभोज्यं च नैवेद्यं निवेदयामि तदसिद्धिरस्तु तदङ्गेन पुष्पं पुष्पं समर्पयामि माल्यादि सुगन्धिमादत्यादि प्रभो मया तन् पूजार्थं पुष्पाणि प्रतिगृह्यताम् हाँ हेमंत भाई आ जाओ धन्यवाद धन्यवाद આપણે હિન્દુ સેન્ટર ઓળખ ટ્રસ્ટીગણ મંત્રીગણ અને સમગ્ર સ્ટાફ તરફથી ભગવાન પ્રસાદ વિહાર આપણે અર્પણ કરીશું ओम त्र्यंबकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनात् मृत्योर्मुक्ष्यमामृतात् ओम त्र्यंबकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनात् मृत्योर्मुक्ष्यमामृतात् ओम शान्तिः 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 मंत्रपुष्पाञ्जलिं समर्पयामि
You are all humbly requested to turn the cell phone off or to put it in a silence mode, please. Gunther. Yeah. Om Santakaram Bhujagashayanam Padmanabham Suresham Vishwadaram Gaganasabhutam Meghavarnam Subhangam Lakshmikantam Kamalaнаянam Yogi Virjnanagam Vande Vishnu Bhavabhayaharam Sarvalokaikanaatham Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsachanuramardam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadguru He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste. We are all gathered over here to pay our final homage to beloved Naran Bhai. It is so natural when we lose somebody who is near and dear and establish our relationship, temporary relationship in this material world. So it is natural. My relationship with Naran Bhai goes almost for 40 years. We were partner in the service of the Lord at the temple. 2 weeks ago, I talked to him on the phone. He was very alert. He will explain his physical condition very meticulously. He will say, I'm passing through this issue, I'm trying to cope with it, and without fail, he will mention, my Rupal is taking care of him. I listen everything what she says. Somehow or other, in our Vedic wisdom, it is said that you meet some people over here, even on this planet, in relationship with your past life also. So somehow or other, to me, it seems like with the Lakhani family, I had some close relationship from my past life. Entire family had supported me when I entered to render my service to the Hindu center as a student. Kokiraben, Deviben, Rekhaben, they always, without fail, they will bring all these children to support me, my humble efforts in service of the God. I always had thought they are my inspirer. Without their help, I could not continue. Beside that, we all have to acknowledge it's natural. Whenever we lose somebody who's dear and dear, we all go to grief and sorrow. But in this material world, unfortunately, we are not left with a choice. And God Himself, time to time, comes on this planet and He makes directly or indirectly aware of this material nature. Sometimes, not sometimes, for many years, all of us here sitting here from a Vedic background and have connected with India. Even the yogis, big yogis, have tried to change this basic principle. Perhaps most of you know the life story of Hiranyakashipu, right? He was a great yogi, but in his yogic process, he wanted to be immortal. He did not want to die. Who wants to die in this material world? Here? Even the bird, beast, all this, who wants to die? So, by yogic process, he pleased the God. And God was pleased with him. And he said, ask whatever you want. Unfortunately, Hiranyakashipu was misguided in his consciousness. He asked for the boon. I will not die during the daytime. I will not die during the night time. I will not die by any weapons. I will not die by inside the room. I will not die outside the room. So there are so many different conditions he laid out. And God, being the merciful for all of us, He will say, be there. Unfortunately, when we receive this kind of boon, we become puffed up. Most detrimental things in our life is our own ego. So Hiranyakashipu, he became very puffed up. He said, now I am God. Nobody has to worship anybody. I am the God. But look at this God's arrangement on this planet through the Vedas. His own son did not believe that. He knew that he has got this boon from the God. So there was always conflict between the son and the father. Can you imagine all elevated personality, God's personality, they are getting conflict with the father and son. The father always insisting his son, no, you don't have to believe. But he said, even he was harassed. Ultimately, his son Prahlad, he praised the Lord, please do something. So he was puffed up and he said, where is your God? Show me, where is your God? So God descended from the pillar and he was killed by fulfilling all the condition he had laid out. Nobody can think about it. How can he kill daytime, nighttime, all those conditions? How can he be killed? But he was not killed inside the room. He was not killed outside the room. He was killed on a foothold. He was not killed during the daytime, nighttime. He was killed twilight zone. He did not use any weapon. He used his own nail. He was not a human being and he was not an animal. He was half lion and half man. Imagine, so this true story has been existing for billions of years on this planet, time to time. And unfortunately or fortunately, we are passing through the era. So-called material scientists has become so much puffed up and they have tried to change the basic principle of this material world. But we all have to become a sober. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Dehino Asminatha Dehe, Tatha Komaram Vanjara, Tatha Dehantaram Prapti, Dhira Sastranam Muyati. We all have to sober. We are born, raised, go through different stages. At some point, we have to live. And this fact does not exist only for a human being. It is for everybody. Birds, trees, anything we see, ultimately, they have to live. So, Krishna, being kind, he is offering us a different yoga process. And as you probably know, in this modern age, there is so much going on about the yoga, meditation all over the world. The ultimate purpose is that to understand the basic truth, what we are into material life. Materialism versus spirituality. Myself and Naran Bhai was on the same page. While he was explaining, we also touched a little bit on a spiritual sense also. And he agreed, I agreed. He had a sense for the spiritual welfare. And he acted accordingly also. He had implemented in his life. And he was an inspirer for me. So he has earned his credit. We cannot deny, we have witnessed that. He has earned his credit. His spiritual journey will be surely uplifted. So he has done his part. So let us do our part. Let us pray the Lord for his spiritual journey also. So this is a very simple prayer. You will be able to call after me. It's a very simple prayer and they will proceed further. भगवान तुम्हारे चरणों में एक प्रेम पुजारी आया है। भगवान तुम्हारे चरणों में एक प्रेम पुजारी आया है। उसके हाथ में जल का लोटा है। उसके हाथ में जल का लोटा है। वो तुम्हें नलाने आया है। वो तुम्हें नलाने आया है। भगवान तुम्हारे चरणों में एक प्रेम पुजारी आया है। उसके हाथ में फूलों की माला है। उसके हाथ में फूलों की माला है। वो गले लगाने आया है। वो गले लगाने आया है। भगवान तुम्हारे चरणों में एक प्रेम पुजारी आया है। उसके हाथ में दीपक ज्योति है। उसके हाथ में दीपक ज्योति है। वो तुम्हें दिखाने आया है। वो तुम्हें दिखाने आया है। भगवान तुम्हारे चरणों में एक प्रेम पुजारी आया है। हे गोपाल राधा कृष्ण गोविंद गोविंद। हे गोपाल राधा कृष्ण गोविंद गोविंद। हे गोपाल राधा कृष्ण गोविंद गोविंद। हे गोपाल कृष्ण गोविंद गोविंद। हे गोपाल राधा कृष्ण गोविंद गोविंद। हे गोपाल राधा कृष्ण गोविंद गोविंद। कृष्ण गोविंद गोविंद 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 कृष्ण गोविंद गोविंद। हे गोपाल राधा 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 कृष्ण Govinda, Govinda. I request Dr. Vipul Lakhani to offer his homage before. Dr. Barry. Yes.
It's really hard for me. Didn't say no. My first comment will probably not be news to you, that, Rob is a very great person in many, many ways. I've known him for 38 years, and I've never seen him, angry or nasty to anyone. He was a very peaceful man, but I'm sure he got mad at his brothers every now and then. Is that correct?
Once in
Once in a while. But anyhow, that was one trait that I noted immediately. And also, he was very insistent and firm in his decisions. He made a lot of important decisions, of which I'll make it a couple. But he always was insistent. In fact, in all of our days, he went to lunch. He never ever let me pay. I tried. Sometimes I was able to slip a tip on the table for the waitress. Anyhow, this, you probably don't know his story about how he came to America, got his master's degree, and then brought his whole family over. And he's told it to me 2 or 3 times, I want to hear it again. But, yeah, this was a pretty big effort from him because he had lots and lots of brothers, bunches of them. And fortunately, 4 of them are still with us. So anyhow, that was just such a heart-touching effort of him bringing his family over. And anyhow, that was one thing that I'll never forget. And also in my exposure to him, I was working as a consultant for him at the time, fixing his system. He helped an awful lot of people. He was kind and worked hard with his employees. He helped total strangers that were in need, people that just were in need of help. He just dealt with people. He was I don't know, kind and generous person. Recently, we've been playing checkers, and we had fun. We finally got him trained to the point where he knew you weren't supposed to move backwards or move my pieces instead of his pieces. And the last week we played, he couldn't make any moves and he almost beat me. Oh, yeah, we even played Chinese checkers. We played Chinese checkers, you know, that's a crazy thing. We had fun with it. Well, when he had, was sick and we had to cancel, another thing, he really loved our get-togethers. In fact, I overslept one morning and he called to wake me up and tell me, hey, it's checker time. So I got dressed real quick and went over there and we always had he had pancakes and french fries for breakfast. I asked him if he's gonna put ketchup on the pancakes or ketchup on the french fries. But we had a good time, and played the checkers, and we look forward to every week of getting together. What else was I gonna say? I wrote it down so I wouldn't forget. But anyhow, we'll miss the guy. Anyhow, there's one other thing I wanted to mention, but anyhow, well, this, 38 years, and we've got such a lovely family. You and I both suffered the loss of our son, which wasn't very easy. But, I enjoyed the pictures, our memories. Oh, I know, I've got our last message. I don't think we have time for that. Where is it? We had a day where we played checkers and his legs were swollen and I knew he was, healing. And I asked him, I said, how you feel? Legs okay? I hope. Are you ready for checkers and pancakes? And then I got the call from, Okila that he was sick. And then later in the day, I got this note from him. Thank you, been very tired, next week checkers. That was his last message. So I sent him a note back and I said, get some good sleep and follow Dr. Rubel and advise him to be feeling better soon. But anyway, we lost a good friend and, I don't know, that's all I can say. Sorry.
So, today we gathered to remember and celebrate the life of remarkable man, Papa, Naran. I just wanted to share maybe, along with Bo, some of the memorable qualities that he embodied, and I think that many of us will remember here. The first, I think, Bo, you alluded to, that of generosity. Whether it was offering sage advice to all of us or opening his house to countless friends and family, he recognized that true wealth came from having a generous heart. He also embodied a strong work ethic. I think, again, Bo, you mentioned a little bit about that. You know, with very little resources, he came to the U.S. and himself started several different businesses, helped countless family and friends start theirs, helped set the generation that was below him on their foundations. And many of us are gathered here because of that. For many of us, he provided a lot of wise counsel, whether it was in relationships, in our studies, in our careers, or other life situations. We could always go to him for an attentive ear and guidance grounded on what was truly important in life. But probably the most memorable quality for me was that of joy, embodied in these images that we're seeing, whether it was at a graduation or a birthday or a wedding. He was always happy, always commented out how lucky he was to have his family. Of course, that joy was most visible around his kids, his nieces, his nephews, and even more so, his grandchildren, grandnieces, and grandnephews. Whether it was riding them around on his tractor or taking them to IHOP, that's where he found his most joy. So today, let's remember and honor him and strive to emulate all those qualities that he embodied.
Will you please keep that name down? Charlie, that to offer here. Okay.
Education. That have some of us in their unintended people that and others too. Prabhu Paramate
Pretty loud voice as it is, so if it's too loud, somebody let me know. Oh, by the way, when we went to IHOP one time with Bubba, I remember you were talking about geocaching at the time. Growing up, I had a chance to go to Excel a handful of times, of course. And I always wondered why there weren't more computer games on these machines. I didn't know who to reach out to. It's a little too late, so should have known earlier, but I appreciate all the help and support you gave him. I know he very much cherished their friendship. Ladies and gentlemen, family and friends, Bas, Dadas, cousins, sons, great granddaughters, Naran Papa had a remarkable life of a man who defied the ordinary and embraced the extraordinary. My beloved uncle, Naran Big Papa Lakhani. Crafting these words has been a journey through countless drafts and a reflection of the myriad of stories and experiences that encapsulate some of the 82 years of life that he had on this earth. How do you even begin to convey the profound impact this extraordinary soul had on all our lives? Ooh, bear with me, this is a long one. Naran Papa wasn't just a patriarch, he was a living testament to a life well lived, a life that spans the equivalent of multiple lifetimes for most. His journey wasn't a mere linear progression from child to school to adulthood to kids, etc. But it was a tapestry of adventures, lessons, triumphs, sadness that spanned across decades. From the echoes of his laughter to the profound wisdom he shared, every moment spent in his presence felt like a piece of fabric he was providing us for a larger result of our lives. Bear with me, I've only started. There's a little bit more to go. But Ruben, please raise your hand if you need me to speed up. I have a lot to share and even more that I won't be able to. I'd like to start at the beginning by painting a small picture of Papa when he was born. Of course, I didn't know Papa at that time, but through stories from him, from those around him, understand he was born in a small village in 1941 in Belfort. And what happened within the first 10 or so years of his life could fill entire libraries. From the British occupation in World War II, the Bengal famine, India's independence, and the first ever general elections. Within that same time span, he was the oldest sibling of a growing family and the oldest of 6. I think if you were to go back and tell Big Papa at 10 what his life would entail, he wouldn't believe it. At a young age, Naran Papa was influenced by the sayings and values of Mahatma Gandhi. His parents and grandparents were role models he looked up to and cherished. One of those core traits was ensuring to truly know the value of education. The importance he placed on education provided him the opportunity to come to America and find a better life for himself, parents, family, friends, extended family, etc. However, before coming to America, Monica, his mother, had a stipulation. I can only let you go if you get married. His journey in the early years of America, as Bo alluded to, was getting an MBA at Xavier University. Coming to America in a village where he did not know at times when his next meal would come on the table, and only knowing a handful of people in a strange new land with very different customs. No one's milking cows in their backyards or buffaloes. He was living at the time in a supply closet with no heat and cold running water and very cold winters in Ohio. Big Papa, through all that resolve, continued to work as a groundskeeper part-time while earning money, be able to pay for his education, and continue to build on those values instilled within him. Part of me wonders if that's why to this day he couldn't let go of the tractors that he had, even late in his in his stage of life. Maybe to do that yard work as well, sense of comfort back when he was a groundskeeper in Xavier. Even in the last few years, I know Kokianti, Ben, Andrew, those that loved him were a little frustrated as to why he's going out in 90-degree heat, 80% humidity, and mowing the lawn, with about 70% of his hard working. But he graduates from Xavier and ends up in New York working as a CPA, making a living and sending what little money he could back home, and the rest is sustaining him. And let me remind everyone, a lot has changed for a man that's lived 81 years, 82 years. There was no telephone communication back home in before. There's no email, no internet, no iPhones, only using stamps and snail mail, as they say now, as the way to communicate. I want you all to take a moment and imagine yourself. You're in New York City, finally earning some money to your name and able to eat comfortably. You have shelter and are working 50 to 70-hour weeks. It's in the middle of winter, you come home, you see in your mailbox, there's a blue envelope. It's from Bhopalpur, India. It's a letter from your family back home, and you're relieved to hear that everyone is healthy, safe, and paying attention in class to learn English or math. However, within that next sentence, your younger brothers might ask you for some money for a pair of jeans as well. Big Papa was like a giving tree. He would give and put his family and friends' needs first ahead of his, always. As time passed, the second oldest, Lakhani, came over. Both brothers living together in New York, finding ways to make ends meet. His wife, Kokianti, soon came over. More brothers started to join. And at the time, some of the brothers were not as interested in furthering their education as Naran Papa had and Pusi Papa once had. Through some self-sleuthing, I've come to learn that there were a variety of reasons, from a lack of quality of teachers, but also not being interested in potentially starting a walkout during test days. I won't name names of any of the brothers on that. So what did Big Papa do? He had to find an opportunity to help his brothers succeed. Give them a shortcut to start in America that he received and more with his MBA. And I think this is where his entrepreneurship sparks. At a young age, growing up in Bhopalpur, Mataji Dada, his dad, wasn't always around as he was busy earning money through various construction work. Through that hard work, Big Papa understood the values of working hard, being innovative, taking risks and chances from his dad. For those that may not know, Mataji Dada was working construction, and at a construction site, he found red and green tile. Thought it was a good idea to potentially create and sell this within the cities, along with lumber. And I think, I'm not sure if there was another entrepreneur before that, but I know that was the one Big Papa remembered very vividly. So he takes a risk, packs everything up, moves to a small town, very small town, but back then compared to New York City and Charlotte, North Carolina. Through a dry cleaners off Sugar Creek that is still there today in King Cleaners. The brothers start to work, start to earn a little bit more money, more family comes over. Well, this isn't going to sustain everybody, so what do? Well, we'll start Superwash. Stayed in our generations over 50 years. And then lastly, Excel Electronics. In one lifetime, Big Papa started 3 various ventures in entrepreneurship. It's not a box many people can ever check in one lifetime. There are more stories I can share. It's a tight-knit group of brothers. He is not the only ones that he helped. It was their wives, kids, grandkids, friends, extended family. Teaching each brother to get a license, giving them nuggets of gold and shelter through wisdom and literal gold, I'm sure. So they didn't have to live in a broom closet without heat, wondering where the next meal might come. That love did not waver, even when he tried to teach them simple things like learning how to drive, getting a permit or license, even though some of those lessons might have ended up hitting a mailbox or another car. Before I conclude, I need to acknowledge Okianti. Okianti, I can't even begin to imagine your life, how it turned upside down when you married Naran and you first met him. The honor and at times, the burden he would take to share was shared up onto you without you having necessarily a voice. The stories and success, the hundreds and thousands of lives that Big Papa touched, whether directly or indirectly, are not possible without you. If I could use the analogy of a Evo, Big Papa was the cotton flame lighting the path for him. But you were the never-ending supply of heat to ensure that light didn't go out. Gandhi once said, "My life is my message." What would Big Papa's message be then? He once shared with me, think of other fellows the same you think of yourself. Think about others and their angles. Don't hurt anyone by thinking or acting. All souls are from the same energy and same person. To me, I see his life in this message. He was always willing to lend a hand, share his life lessons to ensure family and friends would get the extra steps or steps ahead. But even more important, he always wanted and shared with me that you should be thankful, show humility, and at the end of the day, make the world around him better, which he did. I'm not a big believer in goodbyes, but more of a farewell and see you soon. Today we say farewell to a man who dedicated to defy the conventional boundaries of a single lifetime. I'm sure like me, there are many emotions we're all feeling today. What I've come to learn is emotions are not bad. Sadness is not a bad emotion. Emotions are a sunset to be enjoyed. Cry, feel the sadness. Smile, laugh, remember the warmth. Go through this process as you think about what Naran Big Papa means to you. What nuggets of gold did he pass to you? But I challenge everybody in this room, everybody that's on Zoom, take a moment in the coming weeks, months, years, send a text, write an email, reach out to Kofian through Google then. Continue to share how he became a part of your life as part of your own personal tapestry. The memories, the core values that Naran passed down, not to the hundreds, the thousands, will be a bright light for generations to come. As we reflect on the mosaic of memories he gifted us, let us remember the stories that made us laugh until our stomachs ached, the lessons that made us wiser, to never have to worry if food would be on the table, and the love that made us feel immeasurable warmth in the presence of Naran. Family wasn't just a word, it was a living, breathing entity that thrived on the principles he instilled in him from generations before. The amount of pressure you think about he had to support, move towards, grow, 70 hours, 7-day weeks, working 7-day weeks, 70 hours a week, decades on end. And pressure created a diamond that I've never seen shine brighter. Rest in peace, dear Naran Papa. Your memory will forever be etched in the tapestry of our lives and a source of inspiration for generations.
Father, I'm proud of you for keeping up the true history of the Lakhani family. Not only keeping up the history, but admire what they have gone through. Sometimes, truly speaking, some young generation, they forget about the dedication and sacrifice their parents have given to give them a better life in a Western world. So once again, I'm proud of you. Now, Rupa,
Morning. On this day of so many big emotions, as Paula said, I would like to invite us all for a moment of silence. I know my father would want me to recognize many people today. So here's my best attempt. Each and every one of you is here because my father had a special place in your life, either directly or indirectly, a short time or long time. And I would like to extend a great appreciation for your presence to be with us today. I definitely recognize that getting to a Tuesday morning funeral on such short notice is no easy task. And so on behalf of my mom and the whole family, I want to especially recognize those who have traveled from outside the Carolinas, including full stones on Lakhani, who traveled from Florida, Yela Mami and Uncle Mama, as well as my cousin Kinaden and Bonamasi, who flew from New Jersey. Monique Chechi Salawadia, who drove in from Florida last night. My cousin People, who arrived from Oregon almost at midnight last night. Bobby and his wife Mukti, who traveled from all over Chicago by way of San Francisco. And Mukti's parents, Ajit's uncle and Vicky auntie, who drove from Detroit. Friends and family on Zoom. I recognize so many of you wanted to be here in person and just couldn't make it. I know you're scattered across the country, even the world, and we see you, we feel you, and I hope the quality of the stream has enabled you to feel that you are here. I want to recognize Papa Uncle. He has been our family's spiritual compass for over 35 years. I want to recognize Nainish Uncle for guiding us to a beautiful puja and preparing my father's body. I want to recognize Deepa Kanti for blessing us with her beautiful voice and for helping to print these beautiful programs. I want to recognize the handsome Professor Bo Berry, whose charm and wit matched my father's, and whose 40-year friendship with him is truly an example of one of life's greatest gifts. I want to recognize all the aunties, and I know I'm going to miss people who did so much cooking for the whole family for the past 2 days, including Naramami, Itivan, Nisha, and so many others. Can't get together without a lot of nourishment, and so I really do appreciate them. I want to recognize Tony Charles and her team of caregivers. They provided my father with exceptional loving care over the past 6 months. I want to recognize Adrian Hospice of Cabarrus, their guidance in teaching us on how to help my father be comfortable and at peace. I want to recognize Sarah from Providence Florist, who put together these beautiful flowers on 21 hours of notice in the middle of the winter. I want to recognize John and his staff here at Tribute and Talent for making this very difficult event as easy as possible to put together. And most of all, I ask for your grace and forgiveness if I have made any errors or omitted anyone's names. It was my oversight, and I ask for forgiveness. Thank you all for being here. And to wrap up, I just say, I would like to say, as all it said, in the days and weeks ahead, may we honor my father's generosity by caring for each other as he cared for us. Thank you.
Beautiful. I would repeat one time. Every time when I talk to Naran, without fail, he will mention to for service, love and devotion for him. He always say he is keeping up everything and keeping record of everything, advice for everything, and I listen to him. Sometimes he was wondering, should he should listen or not? But still he was listening. He was in a condition that he had to follow instructions anyhow. And now, finally, we shall offer our final prayer to our beloved Naran. Everybody can join us, and then we shall offer Puspanjali and cremation or final ritual will take place in the presence of the close family and friends. So those who are wanted to fill up the day, please feel free. We will start from the back side, and then at the end, they will receive the condolences from there. So just to keep them. Hold on. Please come to hopefully then, you stand there. Whoever you want to stand. Look who's standing there. Stand there. नाथ जोड़ी हाथ पाए प्रेम दीक्षु मांगिए शरणु मरे साधु समाज के हृदय की भागिए ये जीवा पाप पाप પરમાત્માની આત્માને શાંતિ સાચી આપજો. વળી કર્મના યોગે કરી ગુણ મારે ભવતરે. ત્યાં પૂર્ણ પ્રેમી પ્રભુજી આપની ભક્તિ કરે. લખ 84 વંદનોને લક્ષમાં લઈ આપજો. પરમાત્મા તે આત્મા શાંતિ સાચી આપજો. તું સંપત્તિ સુવિચારને સત્કર્મનો થઈ વારસો. જન્મો જન્મ સત્સંગતિ કીર્તાર પાર ઉતારજો. આ લોકને પરલોકમાં તવ પ્રેમ રગ રગ આપજો. પરમાત્માને આત્માને શાંતિ સાચી આપજો. મળે મોક્ષ કે સુખ સ્વર્ગના આશા ઉડે એવી નથી. યો દેહ તુરલ માનવીનો ભજન કરવા ભાગતી. સાચું બતાવી ઉપસી પ્રચોદ હૃદયે સાંભળજો. પરમાત્માને આત્માને શાંતિ સાચી આપજો. પરમાત્માને આત્માને શાંતિ સાચી આપજો. પરમાત્માને આત્મા શાંતિ સાચી આપજો. ઓમ પૂર્ણમદ પૂર્ણમિદં પૂર્ણાત પૂર્ણમુદચ્યતે પૂર્ણસ્ય પૂર્ણમાદાય પૂર્ણમેવાવશિષ્યતે. ઓમ શાંતિ.
You can get with the condolence. Somebody has to say you didn't go there. Okay. Somebody can escort the people from the back side. Start from all the way from back, you know. Very come.